I'll take a Coke.
Is Pepsi okay?
Is Pepsi okay? Is Pepsi okay?
Coke and Pepsi are the undisputed soda champions. No matter which cola you prefer, quench your thirst with these 10 major differences between Coke and Pepsi. Origins.
The invention of Coca-Cola, America's favorite soft drink.
Coke and Pepsi, the two giants of the cola world, have known one another for a very long time. Their relationship has been defined by competition and the desire to distinguish themselves from the other, even though, or perhaps because, they are so similar. Both soda companies can trace their origins all the way back to the end of the 1800s. Both drinks were initially sold with the promise of providing their customers more than just a refreshing beverage. Both drinks claimed certain medicinal benefits. While these claims eventually fell by the wayside,
No Pepsi for you.
the refreshing beverage part has become both brands' reason for being for the last 100 years. Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola have always had more similarities than differences, so you'd think it might be hard to pick one over the other. Much to Pepsi's disappointment, most cola drinkers preferred Coke over Pepsi, and the Coca-Cola Company enjoyed the advantage during much of their rivalry. As the second of the two drinks to make it to market, Pepsi seems to have always suffered a bit from the other cola syndrome. Cola versus cola.
Coke and Pepsi are the same thing! Wake up, people!
There's no question that both Coke and Pepsi enjoy great popularity and success, but have they ever really been equal, or has one always been more preferred over the other? This is a subtle point perhaps, but we tend to say Coke and Pepsi instead of Pepsi and Coke. One recent poll found that cola drinkers prefer Coke to Pepsi 64% to 36%. The exact numbers have varied over the years, but this advantage has been pretty stable over the decades.
I own you!
Both companies have developed strong brand recognition and a loyal customer base to go with them. There are Coke drinkers and Pepsi drinkers. They prefer one over the other when given a choice, but it's also interesting to note that most people will drink the other product if their preferred drink isn't available. This reminds us that although the drinks aren't identical, they are similar. They are both colas, after all. There are a certain number of die-hard fans who won't cross over, but this number is relatively small. For the most part, these two cola giants have both staked out their ground where cola drinkers can take their pick based on their personal preference. Cocktails.
Could I get a rum and Coke?
Pepsi okay?
Most people have heard of the cocktail rum and Coke, whether they drink alcohol or not. There's also the Long Island iced tea. This cocktail contains several kinds of alcohol and is often topped off with a splash of Coke. There doesn't seem to be an equivalent alcoholic drink made with Coke's main rival that has made it into popular culture the way drinks made with Coke have. It's noteworthy that there's no vodka in Pepsi or gin in Pepsi. Does anyone order a rum and Pepsi?
Here's your drink, poser.
Have you heard of a drink called a banana nuts? This drink is made with Pepsi and Seagram's 7 Crown. What about the Island Comfort? This cocktail is made with Pepsi, lemon juice, and Southern Comfort. It seems that these cocktails made with Pepsi-Cola would be just as good as the drinks made with Coca-Cola, but that really isn't the point, is it? For some reason, Coke was able to become part of cocktail culture with the rum and Coke, in a way that the makers of Pepsi can only marvel at. You could always order a rum and Pepsi, but the bartender might ask you if Coke is okay. Taste.
What the hell happened? An explosion of flavor!
Much has been made over the years about how Coke and Pepsi taste. There was the Pepsi Challenge in the 1970s, and then the controversy in 1985 surrounding Coca-Cola's decision to change to New Coke, and then the eventual switch back to the so-called original formula. Although some soda drinkers might think the two competing sodas taste pretty much the same, according to the companies and industry experts, there are real differences in their flavors.
Sounds too good to be true.
Apparently, Coke has hints of vanilla and raisin, whereas Pepsi has more of a citrus flavor because, unlike Coke, Pepsi contains citric acid. Coke is considered to be less sweet and is easier to drink. The taste is one of the major differences between Coke and Pepsi. Do these minor but distinct differences in flavor account for the relative popularity of both of these sodas? Objectively, taste and how everyone perceives flavors is very subjective, so there are going to be a certain amount of Coke drinkers and a certain amount of Pepsi drinkers, and neither group will be able to convince the other to switch brands. Although the two colas are clearly different, the differences are small enough that most cola drinkers will drink whichever brand is available, at least in a pinch. Sales.
85 cents, 85 cents.
85 cents.
Ultimately, companies have to judge their success on how well they do. With Coke and Pepsi, it comes down to the dollars they make each year. However, it isn't really that simple. If you look at raw numbers, PepsiCo almost always shows bigger overall sales numbers. The numbers show Pepsi sells more product, but surprisingly, the Coca-Cola company earns more money. How is this possible? Coca-Cola sells mostly soft drinks. Pepsi, on the other hand, has diversified its products and sells a lot of snacks, such as snack chips. You might have heard of a little company called Frito-Lay.
That's a yes.
This company is known around the world as a top manufacturer of snacks, including Fritos, Doritos, and Lay's potato chips. PepsiCo as a whole generates about $70 billion in revenue a year. If you just counted the amount of soda sold, it looks like Coke comes out on top with a yearly revenue of just over $37 billion. Related to sales is marketing, and Coke is known to have a bigger and more effective social media presence. Television commercials are one thing, but the kids live on social media, so everything that is new and cool is happening on those platforms. You have to crunch the numbers a bit, but sales don't lie. The formulas.
How do you even drink that? Because it's delicious.
What?
Cola fans will probably agree that whether they prefer Pepsi or Coke, the two drinks are more similar than they are different, and there's a good reason for this. Both drinks are created from a foundation of carbonated water that gives soda its distinctive bubbly quality. As far as secret formulas go, it's no secret that both Coke and Pepsi contain high fructose corn syrup. Pepsi contains citric acid and Coke does not. The citric acid gives Pepsi a sweeter, slightly citrus flavor that does well in taste tests.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation.
Because Coke has a less sweet, smoother flavor, it's often considered easier to drink, and this could account for its advantage over its rival. Coke contains a little more sodium than Pepsi, which is one of the reasons why Coke tastes a little less sweet than Pepsi. Both sodas contain caramel color and natural flavors. All of these ingredients are combined in very specific proportions, and these formulas are taken very seriously by both companies and are kept locked away in a vault. But a lot of this is just hype, because there are many colas available to soda drinkers, and they taste pretty similar. Both soda companies have done a great job of convincing its customers that they produce a unique product. Production.
Pepsi, please.
A Pepsi. Sure thing, Curly.
Both cola brands produce a tremendous amount of product every year for sales around the globe. Most Pepsi and Coke is produced in the United States, but not all of it. Some of the soda produced in other countries isn't the same as the US version, and this is one of the major differences between Coke and Pepsi. Most of the ingredients used are the same regardless of where the sodas are produced, but when it comes to Mexican Coke, there is one important difference. Coke and Pepsi made in America use corn syrup as the primary sweetener instead of cane sugar. These colas used to use cane sugar, but switched to the cheaper sweetener a while ago.
Get that corn out of my face!
Mexican Coke, however, is still made using cane sugar, and a lot of Coke lovers outside of Mexico have noticed. These Coke drinkers believe the cane sugar provides a more authentic Coca-Cola taste than the corn syrup does. Perhaps this is so, but it really just comes down to personal preference. Based on Coke's sales, plenty of people like it made with corn syrup, or at least it hasn't stopped them from drinking it by the gallon. Most people who drink Coke and Pepsi have opinions about the taste, but likely haven't put a lot of thought into how the sodas are produced and what specific ingredients are used in particular countries. The soda giants want you to drink the products as often as possible and not think too much about how they're made. Varieties.
Are you saying it's possible for a Coke to be part cherry and part vanilla?
Yes.
Coke and Pepsi are most well known for their original or basic cola flavors. Each company has cultivated a fairly loyal customer base that has proved to be very profitable for them. However, like most companies, Coke and Pepsi have looked to expand their customer base by offering a range of products beyond the basic cola. The biggest or most successful example of this are the diet versions of these sodas that are made with artificial sweeteners instead of corn syrup or cane sugar. The diet sodas have very few or zero calories instead of the usual 140 to 150 calories per can.
The cherry with vanilla.
PepsiCo has developed a range of cola products, including a cherry cola, mango cola, diet and zero sugar versions, a real sugar/cane sugar variant, and a caffeine-free version. Coke has developed a very similar product line that also included lemon cola, lime cola, cherry cola, and vanilla cola. A diet, zero sugar, and caffeine-free option are also on the Coke product list to satisfy as many soda drinkers as possible. The biggest success of the cola variants is Diet Coke with its white and red label, as opposed to the classic red and white Coca-Cola label. Soda is now just one category of soft drinks the two companies produce. Both also have varieties of sports drinks and water in a constant effort to expand their customer base. Brand wars.
I'd like to buy the world a home.
A successful product is one thing, but Pepsi and Coke have been locked in competition for decades, and both have tried to get an edge any way they can. One of the ways they've tried to separate from the other is through branding. This can be an overused buzzword, but branding is a real marketing tool that both of these companies have used to great effect. Coca-Cola started to distance itself from Pepsi as a globally recognized brand back in the 1970s. This was when the soda giant released its iconic TV commercial that featured the jingle, "I'd like to buy the world a Coke." The 1971 song was a stroke of genius that said Coke could help bring a troubled world together.
Buy me a Coke.
This might have been a tall order for a lowly cola, but that really didn't matter. What mattered was that Coca-Cola was able to elevate itself to a global brand and left Pepsi trying to catch up. You shouldn't feel sorry for Pepsi, however. This soda company has been a raging success and has successfully branded itself as the younger, hipper alternative to the relatively stodgy Coke. Influence.
I wanted a Pepsi.
That's what I'm talking about. Ew.
Long before social media clicks, likes, and influencers, the people who make Coke and Pepsi were using every marketing and advertising trick in the book to spread the word about their products. Both products have become household names the world over and have influenced the soft drink industry and the wider culture. Although both sodas have clearly made their mark in the world, the edge has to go to Coke. This brand has made the rare leap of being associated in many people's minds with the generic product it is an example of. Many people say Coke when they really mean cola, but comparatively few people say Pepsi when they want a cola. As visible as the Pepsi brand logo is, the Coca-Cola logo emblazoned in red and white has been recognized around the world for many decades. Coca-Cola is recognized as part of American culture in a way that Pepsi has not been able to duplicate.
You want a Coke or something?
Oh, yeah, cool.
PepsiCo has blazed a trail in another direction, however. This soft drink diet has expanded aggressively into the snack chip market. This makes good business sense because salty chips and other snacks are often enjoyed with soda. However, some critics believe this move has diluted Pepsi's branding as a soda maker. Order up another great video, just tap or click, and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notification squad.